All right, welcome to the Tony Gomez Show. Tonight in the studio, returning for the third time. Hell yeah. We got Metal Mike DeLeon, Shredder, Shreddy Krueger, as some may call him, on the fucking axe. Mike,
Yes.
glad to have you back on the show. How you doing?
What's up, everybody? And so glad to be back. Third time. How awesome is that, man? Always talking metal, always good times, always good talks, man. So glad to be back, man. It's good to be here.
Man, thank you so much, man. Last time I had you were here with the band Flesh Hoarder, and it was right before you guys are going to start the Pantera opening tour, doing some dates with them. Oh man, I bet that was living the dream. But you've been living the dream for a long time. But especially to be there on the main stage, opening up for your brother Phil right there, and the rest of the gang, all those guys. You're that metal brotherhood. You guys have crossed paths so many times already along in your career, and to hit the road together, do some special shows, especially with Flesh Hoarder, right there. It's amazing, man. What was your favorite date playing with Pantera?
Man, well, we were fortunate enough to do 3 shows, which is special because Dimebag always had the number 3. That was always his
Yeah.
number. So it was cool. We got to go do 3 gigs. We did Arkansas, Houston, and Austin, Texas. Of the 3, my favorite was, probably Arkansas because it was our first night and the crowd was awesome, man. Definitely wild in Arkansas. It was for Flesh Hoarders like first time to like really perform there, and to be on the big stage with Pantera and Lamb of God. We were very well received, man, that first night. So we were, that was a good one. Plus the mosh pit was nice and rowdy in Arkansas. So that was another big plus. But on the flip side of things, when we played in Austin, Texas, that was Dimebag's birthday, August the 20th, and it was also August 20th or 21st. It was one of those. It was right there, but we were in our hometown, per se, and we got to jam for all our family, our friends, and then just the fans. It was a very emotional and huge night of metal that night. It was so packed at the big amphitheater in Austin, and a very awesome night, man. Very cool, and good vibes all night long.
All night long, man. I'm glad to say I was here cheering you guys on. I made it the trip up there. I'm sporting my shirt that I scored that night. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes.
Fucking solid, man. They got some bad artwork, man. You had some great fucking designs. By the time the tour hit, you had a bunch of fucking great. I love the blood splatter on the white shirt, the logo.
So
Tight.
when it came to the merch, like our first night, we in Arkansas, we came with some merch, but we got bought out like that first
All
night.
right.
They bought almost everything we had. So we had to do an emergency 24-hour merch like refill and to have some for the next couple of gigs, but everything worked out and we were able to get some, but it was like it went real quick, all that merch, man. The first night and then the other 2 shows, it did really well. So we were very thankful for that.
Man, I
It
think
was
you
sick,
probably
good merch too.
definitely great, sick merch, and they're easy to sell like that. But especially when they got a chance to hear you, they're like, "Oh shit, we got to get these guys." Because I know how it is, man. I know when I go see a big name show and they got a killer opening band, I'm like, you know what? I want to buy that shirt because those guys need a lift up, and that's what I want to do. Because everyone's gonna buy, the headliner's shirt. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get one of those too. But when that opening act makes that impression, goes fucking hard, like you guys did, the merch sells itself. You guys just go out there and earn it. Kick ass.
Honestly, Tony, it means the world to hear that coming from you, but coming from your brother, because like we were really trying to just bring it, man, as hard as we could,
Yeah.
for being like like the underdog of the night, just
I get
just a
it.
so we really wanted to come out swinging and play a lot of the heavier, groovier, side of the, Flesh Hoarder, so you can
Yeah.
kind of, latch on and bang your head and, get in that pit, so it was, it means a lot that people enjoyed it and were into it because we were, on our end trying to bring it as best we could.
Hell yeah. Well, big shout out to all the other guys in Flesh Hoarder. Nico, Angel. We were talking about Adam, Renee, man. It was such a solid lineup. And I gotta ask you, I know you're gonna be on the road with Soulfly and they're gonna start a tour while you're gonna be tied up with Soulfly. So did you sign off on Javier Zamora?
Yes.
All
Awesome.
right.
I'm so glad we're talking about this, man. This is a great to bring all this up right here. So
Cool.
anytime I'm out with, with Soulfly, even when I was doing the illegals, Flesh Hoarder, we always tried to stay busy and always tried to keep it a 5-piece, even if I was not around. So I always took it as my responsibility, but also, the other guys help out too. But we always try to, if we bring in a guy to help us out, we want to make sure, the dude's ready to go and ready to bring it just as if I was there, So
Yeah.
Javier, he's been my guitar tech for a few years now with Flesh Hoarder, and just behind the scenes, Javier's, I've always, got to give a lot of love to him because he's done a lot for me personally and my equipment for a long time. So for him to move from guitar tech, into the spot is just been a really easy transition on everybody's end, and he knows the music, and he's been practicing his butt off, and so I'm leaving for Soulfly in about 1 month, 1 month time, and Flesh Hoarder has about a week or so of gigs to a festival and back, and Javier will be filling in for my place, and he is ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. Everybody's good. We've been in the jam room practicing as a 6-piece actually with 3
Cool.
guitar players, just like Iron Maiden. It's been great. It's been
Yeah.
three guitars and it's brutal death metal. So everybody's getting into the pocket and everybody's just helping each other out, and sooner or later I'll kind of just bow out and they'll do their thing, and
Yeah.
I'll be focusing, primarily on Soulfly and getting ready to we have a huge set list in store too, moving to that. So mentally I have to move my brain from all these projects. It's like I have them all like, stored in different sections, and now I'm gonna kind of move from Flesh Hoarder. Now I'm gonna move back into Soulfly and work on everything that we have lined up for our really long tour in Europe. So everything's good, man. It's staying good.
Man, that's the way I like to hear it. Staying, keeping all your bases covered, not letting one band slow down while you're doing something with the rest. Just taking care of business. Because I play in 4 bands myself right now. I'm jamming with the guys from Annihilator. I'm fucking super thrilled about
Oh,
that.
that's great.
We got
Old
an
school.
album coming out in about a couple of months. It's called Death is Calling. So we got old school, 80s Texas Corpus Christi thrash getting ready to hit hard again. And, I got my other 3 bands, but you got to file that stuff in your head, man. And I know what you mean by when you get ready to switch from one concept and one project to the next, you got to reload, put that new playlist in, and, get back on the fucking riff and get back on the wheels to get those wheels going and ready to fucking grease lightning when it comes time to do the Soulfly gig. But I
And
like the 3 guitar rehearsal thing. That reminds me of like when I saw Whitechapel back when they were doing the 3 guitars, man. Oh, dude, the tightness and the
yes,
thickness, the brutality. Oh shit!
it's
I'd love to see that, man. You gotta go live one of these days at the rehearsal and give us a little taste of what the 3 of you guys with the rest of the band, what that looks like when you're doing it. That'd be awesome, Mike, if you could do that.
that's a good idea. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with doing a show like that. Might as well do a
Yeah,
show like maybe one day we'll do a 3 guitar player show. It might
yeah.
you never say never. So maybe one day we'll all get up there and play a set together. That would be great, man. That would be so much fun. And I could always go live in the jam room, and you guys can get a feel. We have, it's not the biggest jam room, but it's great because we have everything in there: the drums, the bass, and 3 guitar heads and 3 guitar cabs, and then you still got the PA and the microphone for Nick. So it's full. It's full, and it sounds good, man. It's coming together right now, so it's good. But while we're talking about this is one thing I never really discuss, and I kind of often wonder, how many other guitar players go through this, and for me, it would be equipment. So, like, I just did a gig out in California last week. Super awesome gig. I'll talk about it in a few minutes. It's called A Waltz In Violence. And to get ready for that specific gig, I had to dig up some guitars that I hadn't touched in a few years, I've been playing 7 strings for all my projects. So to get ready for this particular project, I kind of had to go through some equipment to get the right gear in order for this gig. Now I'm moving back into Soulfly and Flesh Hoarder. So now I'm moving these guitars here and these guitars there and those guitars there. And it's just like, no matter what the project is, it always calls for different guitars. So it's not just, for me mentally, it's not just like having to get all these songs in order, but it's also having to get gear in order every time. I always go through it. It's great for me, honestly. It keeps me on my toes. I'm always like, okay, I want the best always of of the performance. So I always try to make sure my guitars are in the best shape for whatever project I'm whatever band I'm jamming in, not project but band, whatever band I'm jamming with. I just want to make sure it's equipped right. So that's one thing I always deal with. I just want to put that out there. Anytime I'm going from band to band, I always want to make sure I got new guitars or guitars ready to go for every project, So I just wanted to touch on that real quick.
I love that because each band needs its own kind of magic, and and being a guy like yourself, where we kind of stretch ourselves out sometimes, to spread the love, because we like jamming with so many badass musicians that the original band like Flesh Hoarder don't want you pulling off, those kind of Flesh Hoarder riffs when you're doing Soulfly, and vice versa, Soulfly for Flesh Hoarder and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of jealousy, you know what I mean, when you're doing other projects, because I know when I had my drummer doing other things, when my drummer from Killamora went to go jam with Devastation in Europe, I was like, oh man, shit, he's gonna give him all that love, fuck. But at the same time, I was so fucking happy for my drummer Fidel getting that opportunity to go out there and kill it like that. That was a big picture. But there's always that kind of thing where like, hey, save some for us too, Mike. Save some for us. And you're such a professional. You bring the right, what to bring to the right project, the right gear for the right project. So speaking of gear, tell me about what you like to use. I've been seeing you post that beautiful fucking signature Dean James Hetfield edition, man. What are you using on stage right now? Going into Soulfly.
Okay, I just did a gig and I was using a Dean Zero, which is like an Explorer style body with a James Hetfield pickup in it for the thrash gig I just did. It was a 6-string, super awesome guitar. All I use right now are Dean guitars. Dean has been taking very good care of me. The guitars are so well made, and like you said, the magic is in the playing and in these axes, man. I absolutely love them. Moving into Soulfly, I'm going to be using my main guitars, both of my Exiles, my blue and my brown, and I'm going to take them both with me. And
those are sick, man. I love the fucking the colors, man. The beautiful axes.
Super beautiful axes, man, and hooked up with the Futone, hooked up with Ernie Ball strings. I got some EMG pickups, just wanting to make sure everything sounds nice, tight, and heavy, and also very clean. I just got a brand new Seymour Duncan, the 700 head, which a lot of guitar players are starting to use. It's just a small little head, but a lot of power, a big heart and a lot of power coming from this little
Yeah.
amp, and a lot of headroom and space to move around. So I'm using the Seymour Duncan head and just my Dean guitars, and I got the Quad Cortex, which is another pedal a lot of guitar players have been using, and just getting some good tones, man, and just ready to destroy, man. I can't wait.
Hey, let's give a shout out to some of those awesome endorsements you're getting, man, from your strap company, your cords, your strings. Who's helping you out, make it all possible when you're hitting the road with Soulfly and
All
Hoarder?
right, let's do a quick rundown. Let's get
Yeah.
all the companies, man. There's a good bunch of them. Let's start with the old school. Been with Mesa Boogie, which is the
Oh, hell
kings of
yeah.
tone. Been with Mesa Boogie for about 7 or 8 years now, and they've always had my back, man, and been there. I always say the kings, man, because they're just they're just the ones that they're
Yeah.
the stacks. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
So Mesa Boogie. Let's give a big shout out to Dean Guitars for holding it down for the axes.
Yes.
Ernie Ball Strings have never let me down. I've been with Ernie Ball Strings for about 5 or 6 years, and I'm about to re-up on some packs of strings for Europe, and I can't wait. EMG has been taking care of me for about 4 or 5 years now. I love the absolute old school tones, the thrash, the metal, the clean. You can get anything out of some EMGs, man. Some
Hell
blues,
yes.
some jazz, so it's great. Got to give a lot of love to Pig Hog Cables. They've been taking care of me on all my cable situation, from the 50-foot long cables to
Damn.
the 1 foot patch cables to everything. So and I just got a lot of nice stuff from them. So Pig Hog, a lot of love. Great cables, the best, man. Let's see. Man, there's so much.
How about those straps, man? You got some killer straps.
Yes, Richter guitar straps, man. They've been taking care of a lot of awesome musicians. A lot of my brothers are using Richter guitar straps. Caesar from Ministry, Mike from Soulfly, Max from Soulfly, so on and so on. Everybody's using Richter straps. A lot of love for them. Awesome guitar straps. Check them out if if you're looking for a good guitar strap. Look up Richter, man. They'll hook you up. Let's go on to Inky cases. I travel all around the world with my Inky guitar case, as do many musicians around the world. I play these big festivals, and I look on what everybody's using, and everybody has the Inky cases, and everybody's traveling around with their guitars in these Inky cases, man. So if you need a guitar case, check them out, look them up, and get yourself hooked up, man, because they're lightweight and great to travel around the world with. Man, I feel like Food Tone has been taking care of me for my guitar parts. Like if I want to get an upgrade on all the odds and ends, which I guess many guitar players are doing. Food Tone's hooking you up, man.
Wow, cool.
Let's see. And then the Quad Cortex, I got to give a lot of love to Neural, man. They're a newer company, but they've been doing a lot of big things, and a lot of guitar players will know what I'm saying. Neural and the DSP and the Quad Cortex. And man, that's probably about it, man. A lot of love for all the companies that have been taking care of me, man. I always try to push y'all's name and send a lot of love out for all you guys out there too, man. So
hell yeah. Great. A big shout out to
man.
all the endorsements that all these great companies been doing for you, Mike. You companies couldn't have picked another great ambassador like Mike to go out there and use your stuff to the best of its abilities, to put it to the test, to sound wise, durability, just all around, just like the old Samsonite commercial with the gorilla fucking throwing the suitcase around in a prison cell. You put it to the test, and it meets it, and it surpasses the expectation.
Yes.
So yeah, you want to find out what good gear is, go to Mike's page, backtrack on our conversation here, and pick up everything he uses, because it's the best shit on the road out there. So
check it all out. Yeah, check it all out. And all my stuff, I'm always hands-on, man. It's I'm always trying to mess with things and check out things. So all this stuff is get put to the test, just like you said, personally by me. So It's I just want to also send one quick shout out to Intune Guitar Picks, because Intune has been taking
Yeah.
good care of me. And you can have everything, but then you walk on stage and you're like reaching in your pockets and you don't got a guitar pick. It's the worst. It's
Yeah.
the worst. So I got to get a lot of love to Intune. They've been making
Hell yeah.
my custom guitar picks for a long time. So can't forget them as well, man. So I just want to send out some love real quick to them.
Absolutely. The more tools of the trade that make it all possible. So I
Definitely.
got to ask, the aggressive psychopathic intentions tour, is that going to continue after you come back with Soulfly? I've seen a couple of dates being posted in September, one here in Corpus Christi already.
Yes, I will say, I don't know if it'll be called the same tour, but we are definitely going to be lining up some more gigs. We are working on new music in Flesh Hoarder right now. That's one thing, I want to definitely put out there. More than anything, we're going to be doing some shows, but we're just being real focused on this new music right now. We want to put out a new album and we really want to record. So we'll be doing some gigs, and we want to do some gigs, but we really want to finish up this new album we've been working really hard on all year. Since January till right now, we've been writing a lot of new music, and we're about 6 or 7 songs focused and deep on brand new Flesh Hoarder. It's super killer, man. I can't wait for it to come out. And so other than doing that, we're going to be doing some gigs here and there, and the guys will be taking a break to do the one in August, and then I'll be back in September. And right when I get back from Soulfly, it's just like it happened last year with the Pantera shows. I had like 3 days in between a really long Soulfly tour and then jumping right into Flesh Hoarder. It's gonna happen. We're doing the same thing again this year, and we have a couple select shows here in Texas, and it's a couple of cities that we rarely play. So it'll be good to get back to San Antonio and definitely get back to Corpus, as we never get to play Corpus, man. And I'm really glad it's working out for everybody's schedule, and I shall be there, so I'm looking forward to it. And I always say this when I'm at a Flesh Hoarder gig, if I'm like there and I'm hanging out with my friends, I always like to tell them I'm so glad I'm here, because a lot of times I'm off on the road or doing something. So if I'm there, which is most of the time, if I'm there with Flesh Hoarder, it's always a good thing for me personally, because I love jamming those tunes, and that's my old school band, and so it's good being able to be there. But if I'm not there, then I'm definitely out doing Soulfly or just doing something else, man. So it's good.
Yeah. Hell yes. Well, we can't wait to have you here in Corpus. My friends at Throat Locust are going to be playing. Womb Rod, Tortured. All these guys have been on my show, man. They're fucking heavy duty bands. Great bands to be along with you as well. And I actually got my band War Cult as the opening band. So, man, I can't fucking wait. It's going to be bad. Yes. We finally got our shit together, and we're going to fucking go out there and kill it. We're going to do even a couple of Kill 'Em More covers to fill up our set. And
perfect.
I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be
good. That's gonna be great. I'm friends with the guys in Tortured. I remember hanging out with Joseph.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago, probably like 17 years ago, 18 years ago.
He had the band Mutation.
Yes, Mutation, and my old band Disfigured.
That's right.
We have a lot of history. So I'm really looking forward to that gig, and as well as Throat Locust. I'm glad we're talking about all the Texas love, man. This is great, because the Throat Locust guys, we definitely go back with those guys as well. So I'm looking forward to those gigs, and just seeing you guys, being able to just chill out and watch you guys jam, and then us go do our thing. It's going to be a good night, man. Hopefully we can have some drinks and chill out, man. That'd be great.
Absolutely, man. So I want to get into A Waltz for Violence, man. Tell me the lineup, man, because all you guys are heavy hitters. Tell me who was playing and what band they were from as we get started into this.
All right, let's talk about A Waltz in Violence. I'm glad we're talking. This is my first, podcast right past that gig, so it's fresh. Great. And I haven't had a chance to talk about that specific performance, man. And so A Waltz in Violence was put together probably back in January, maybe early February, by my friend Dylan Waltz, who is a front man for a bunch of great bands, tribute bands out in the Bay Area. He's a awesome singer, great dude, and one of my brothers out in the Bay Area. And he hit me up, and we jammed before, and he was like, "Hey, man, we got this performance coming up in June, and we'd love to have you out, man." And then he told me the players that I was going to be jamming with, and for me, it's a real personal, emotional. It's a big deal for me to be asked to go out and jam out with guys, like this, man. It's cool. It's real cool.
Yeah.
So
Huge. Yes.
it's huge. And let's start off. So Dylan was doing most of the songs
Okay.
on vocals, and then we also had Norman Skinner, who is the new vocalist for Forbidden, old 80s thrash metal band.
Oh shit. Okay. Badass.
And Norman also has a power metal band who played that night. And I'm glad we're talking about this real quick, because Norman rules, and his other band, they're called Nivane, and they're a power metal band. They all shred. Great band. So check them out if you're checking this out. Check out Nivane. They rule, man. Good band out of the power metal band out of the Bay Area. So Norman was doing some vocals. Then we had Steve Smythe, who's played in bands like Testament. He played in for Forbidden. He's an absolute shredder, and OG legend out of the. I'm sure he's played in Exodus. He's an OG out of the Bay Area. Total shredder, man. He was doing a lot of the shred solos, man. It was really, really good to go up there and shred out with him, man. It was great.
Yeah.
And then on bass guitar, we had a guy I'd never met before. His name was Michael Spencer, and I believe he was from Flotsam and Jetsam. So like I'm telling you, like again, coming out of Texas and jamming with these crew of guys, I could tell you it's a big deal. And I always want to play my best, because I know these guys are great players, and they're they always want to perform to the best, and so I always want to do my best too. And then on drums, it's always a great opportunity to jam with the legend Will Carroll, old school Bay Area Death Angel drummer, and Death Angel's been around, forever. And Death Angel, has done so many great tours, and such a great band, man. And all the guys in that band are awesome dudes. And in the last few years, learning a lot of Death Angel songs for different projects, it's really given me such a great understanding of how important that band is, and how much they've done for the Bay Area as well. So it was great jamming with Will again. He actually got to jump on vocals and do an Exodus song. And Chris Contos from Machine Head, and currently jamming in Chris. Chris has played in so many bands. He's jamming in Forbidden right now, and he's one of my diehard brothers, man. All these guys are they've welcomed me in and just made me part of the family. And it's over. I tell them, man, anytime I'm here and I'm with you guys, I feel like a brotherhood, because you guys are just the coolest dudes, and you always welcome me right on in with open arms. And they're thrashers, man. They're all shredders, And then also one more cat, we had Rick Hunault, who was OG Exodus.
The OG right there.
OG,
yeah.
And we got to do 2 Exodus songs together. So it was just, in January when they hit me up and they told me what was going to be happening, I was already just super excited about it. It's just a big opportunity. And the show itself, I want to say it was so much fun. It was in the park in this town in California. It was open to the public. It was free. And it was just the best vibes. It was a beautiful day. The 75 degrees. There was smoke in the air. It was just food, family, music, bands. It was just a day of great vibes, man. And then we got to close it out and do our classic metal tunes. And I got to jam with all these awesome dudes, man. So that's what A Waltz in Violence was. I got the t-shirt on to represent.
Oh, tight. Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's so
badass,
cool. It
dude.
has our names on the back, man. So it was super cool, man. And they say it was a one-time thing, but I really hope in the future sometimes us group of guys can get together again and play another set of metal tunes, man. We played some Judas Priest, we played some Megadeth, we played some Sepultura, we did some Metallica, some
Yes.
Merciful Fate. It was great, man, and it was just a great opportunity. So I really had a great time out there, man. Shout out to all the guys, though. Everybody was good. Everybody was great, man.
What a great time. And, I like to do, I do a cover band here. We're called Fistful of Metal. And so picking out all these songs, we're doing Lamb of God and Slipknot and fucking the Big Four and all that shit. I know how it feels to play your favorite classics, dude. And I saw y'all doing the video, The Sentinel. That's like one of my favorite Priest jams right there, dude. The Sentinel, fuck yeah.
Such a
And
great
y'all
song.
killed it. Y'all fucking killed it. And then I saw y'all doing a Bonded by Blood. Fuck yeah. Killer, Four Horsemen. Oh, dude.
It was crazy. Like I said, for me going into each band, each project I'm going into, I always want to play the best of my ability. And I told Dylan, in the ride from the house to the venue, I said, man, I practiced and I practiced and I practiced these songs. I was spending a lot of my personal time sitting right here and just rehearsing the set every single night for a while, for a few weeks every night. So I spent a lot of time, and I just really wanted to play my best because, like I said, I'm being invited, a Texas dude coming into the Bay Area, with these caliber of dudes. I just really want to play my ass off and play it as tight as absolute possible. So, it was a lot of blood, sweat, sacrifice, man, leading up to that show. But that's how I like to put it into every performance that I do. I always want to give it my all and, have a good time, smile and jam.
Yeah.
But I also want to, be on, my A game when it comes to the songs as well.
Fuck yes, dude. And I'm sure a few of those guys, even they knew of the legend of Mike DeLeon already. And they're like, oh shit, here he comes. Man, I heard about this guy. Don't worry about it. We got it covered. He's going to take care of his. You're going to take care of ours. When we come together, it's going to fucking kill. What a great time. It'd be great if that kind of reminds me of the Roadrunner All-Star concert where you had all the heavy hitters. You had Dino, you had oh goddamn, Andreas, you had Joey on drums, fucking Adam Dulce on bass, you had them all coming and going, the great vocalist, and that's what it reminds me of. And there's nothing that guys like me and you enjoy more than playing with brothers that love doing it as much as we do, that enjoy the same fucking music that we all grew up doing.
It's so much fun.
Get better than that.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's a like they say, a genuine fun time. Just getting on a stage, in a room, outside, no matter what. When you're jamming and you're locked in and, you look over and you got your brothers up there, it's a great, it doesn't get better, man. You're locking in and it's a genuinely fun time, man. So I enjoyed it. And like I said, I hope we get to do it again, man, sometime in the future.
Hell yeah. Well, let's talk to little Soulfly. It looks like the Soulfly tour is going to start in France and it's going to take you through Germany and end up in Scotland, man. You guys are going to be going all over Europe. Where's your favorite place to play in Europe? What do you look forward to if you have a day off?
Man, there's a couple of spots. Well, last year we had a few days off in between a few shows. I can't remember the name of the town, but I remember we were in Serbia, and I had a beautiful time because it was just a beautiful city, a lot of great food, and just a good vibe for a few days. Everything we needed was in walking distance, and I just remember really enjoying myself in Serbia. The food was awesome, man, and good times in Serbia. Another place that I really like to go to is that I just recently fell in love with is a place called Switzerland. And man, Switzerland is just a beautiful country, beautiful land, the scenery, the water, just it's a good time. Have some good days off, and just good times, good vibes, and you know, I can't wait to go back. We're going to be hitting some of these countries again, heading back next month, and I can't wait, man. I love jamming in Soulfly. It's a dream come true, you know, to go up there and to strap on a guitar and to stand right next to the mighty Max Cavalera. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's it's an absolute trip, and then to have, you know, his son Zion right there on the drums, you know, to
Yep.
have father
Oh
and
yeah.
son, and then Mike DeLeon on bass. You know, it's a special
Mike.
thing, and it's been good, man. Having a good time jamming with the guys, man. It's been awesome.
So badass. I want to give a shout out to some of the people that are joining us in here real quick. Let's shout out to some of these folks that are joining us. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Fernando. The guys from Over at Enemy saying we're giving a shout out. I'm going to talk to them by 8 o'clock. What's up, guys? Fuck yeah. Vanessa Poneg said, you really did a great job over there at Ozfest in 99. Who were you playing with in 99 at Ozfest?
I don't remember. I mean, I remember going to attend Ozfest '99, but I wasn't performing at Ozfest
That was
'99.
the Verizon. That's the year Slipknot was opening the side stage.
Yep, I remember being there, and I remember that show like it was yesterday, man. I talk about that gig to some of my peers, man, often, and those specific times, even 2000, being around for like Tattoo the Earth, you know, and just some of the special tours that were happening back then. But I definitely was, you know, remember being there in '99.
Fuck yeah, legendary show right there. Thanks for tuning in today, Vanessa. Hell yeah. And Overt Enemy. Hey, they got a question. Are you doing some writing with Max yet?
Man, great question. So I have personally been writing for Soulfly. It's been, you know, I've kind of talked about it a little bit, but here in my jam room, I've already demoed, you know, a couple of ideas, and, you know, ready to start working on the new album. So you know, hoping everything goes as planned, and I really, really would love to, you know, record on the new album. But yes, I have been writing for the new album, and I wrote a couple of songs already. So yes.
Very sick. Hell yeah. Okay, well, shout out to Raphael. Phoenix, Arizona is in the house. Thank you, Raphael. Hell yes. Reign of Ruin says fucking thrash, fucking metal. I haven't heard Reign of Ruin. I'm going to look you guys up. Raphael's got a question. Says, can you ask Metal Mike if he is endorsed by a guitar brand or an amp company, or does he have his own personal gear that you like?
Okay,
I think he got in a little late.
Yeah, I kind of went over this just a little bit ago, but yes, definitely. I've been endorsed with Dean Guitars for the last few years. I have a nice, good bunch of Dean guitars, and I like to run through them, man. Definitely doing a lot of shredding. When it comes to amplifiers, I like to use Mesa Boogie. I've been with Mesa Boogie for a long time, and I use them for a lot of the power, man. Powering up all my goodies on my pedal board, man. So definitely, I'm rolling with the Mesa Boogie right now. I just got a new Seymour Duncan that I'm going to be using for some power as well. But I've been with Mesa Boogie for a long time, cabs and heads, man. So definitely check out both companies, man. Dean Guitars and Mesa Boogie.
Heavy duty, the standard right there for metal. Fuck yeah. Great
Standard.
question, Raphael. Shout out to all you guys. We really appreciate you tuning into the show. I want to ask you real quick before I hit a real quick fast session to draw the line with you. What's coming up for you, Mike? You know, after you do the Soulfly and the Flesh Hoarder tours, like maybe October, what's looking like the latter year for you? More Soulfly?
Yes. Look, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna come up real fast a little bit sooner. I want to let you guys know that I'm gonna be recording some music this coming weekend for some movie stuff, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I did a couple of songs for some movie stuff. I'm just gonna call it movie stuff for right now until you know, further notice or whatnot. But I did a couple of songs for some folks, man, and it's been going great. And this coming weekend, we're all going to be getting back together out in Dripping Springs at the Machine Shop, who was run by the producer Machine, man, and this dude's done, you know, a bunch of great albums. And
Yes.
gonna be going out there this weekend, starting out there doing some tunes for this this movie project coming out sometime in the future. And then got the Soulfly tour for the next, you know, 6 or 7 weeks starting next month. come back. Going to be doing some Flesh Hoarder gigs in September, and then I believe Flesh Hoarder might have a couple of shows in the beginning of October, and then the middle of October. Soulfly has another 4 or 5 week tour across the United States, and at the end of October, I will be doing the Lamb of God Headbangers Boat, which will be my
Oh
first.
shit!
Yeah, which will be my first cruise, man, and I'm
Wow.
absolutely, ecstatic to be able to go on
I know.
a metal
Fuck.
cruise, and you know, it's just going to be an adventure. A bunch of metalheads. We're going to be all together on a boat. So many great bands. I can't wait to hang out with everybody
Yeah.
backstage with the crowd, the buffets. We're all going to be together, man. It's going to be a
Hell
good
yeah.
time. So, and then after that, we come back off the boat and we finished the tour leading into the middle of November, and that tour is going to be with I Hate God from New Orleans, which is old school. It's
Yes.
been around forever, and good friends of mine as well, longtime brothers of mine, and a band called Mutilation Barbecue, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I love the name. The name is so
Yeah.
it's
Right.
so it's so ravage, man. It's sick. And then a band from Africa is going to be coming and doing a lot of the gigs called Skinflint, and they're a great band. They got to do some shows with us last year, so got some stuff going on in the fall, man. It's going to be good, and then December, we're already lining up even more Flesh Hoarder shows, So plus some recording, hopefully dabbled in the middle of all that with Flesh Hoarder, and as well as Soulfly. I'm hoping, and just got a lot going on, a lot to look forward to. The rest of my year seems to be pretty much busy, man, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to what 2025 has in store, and always keeping it metal and always keeping it busy, man. It's great.
Oh, it's so excited. Me and all your family of friends that are around here, we're so excited and very proud of everything you've already got behind you and what's ahead for you, brother. Hell yeah. I can't wait to hear some of that great music on those movie soundtracks. When the time comes, we'll know what movies are, so that way we know we go catch them and get that support on the soundtrack and make sure we're hearing that great music.
Definitely,
So,
man. I can't
yeah,
wait for some more of that to come out. What's already been kind of started
yeah.
is already sounding great. So going into this weekend, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can stir up. Anytime I'm in the studio, I love to use it to my advantage, as much as I can, because that's you putting your heart and soul, your
Yeah.
hands, down and into the recording, which will be there forever,
For history.
for history. So anytime I can get into a studio and put something down, I always want to make it as best as I can and special, man, and really picky even on the
Yeah.
notes I'm choosing, man. I want it to be something that's very memorable and that's from the heart. So I'm looking forward to this weekend, and it should be good. To be
It's
cool.
going to be great, man. I'm so excited for you. Mike, let's wrap things up with today's interview. I got 6 topics I want to ask you about on Draw the Line. We speed right through them. You tell me who you want, who you prefer, who's your favorite. Let's get started with some old schoolers. Are you Van Halen or are you Van Hagar?
Oh, this is a good question right here. And this is I
Sammy's
know
coming to town here. I got tickets to see him in August.
I know I'm gonna get some hate for this, but
Okay, go for it.
I'm Van Hagar
All right,
all the
that's cool,
way.
man. I'm with you. I'm with you right there.
I absolutely love the David Lee Roth
Of
era
course.
because it was a different style, and Eddie was on absolute fire. He was a
Yeah.
kid and he had a point to prove, and you could hear that point he's proving in the music and the solos that he's playing, man. It's mind blowing. But then, they all grew up and Sammy came into the picture. And the reason why I'm going to go with Sammy while we're on the subject is because that's kind of when I started listening to Van Halen. It was more of like, okay,
All right.
I'm 8 or 9 years old now. That's starting to happen. That's when I started listening to Van Halen, so it just means a little bit more. So that's why I'm a Van Hagar fan. I got to see that lineup a few times, but I have a lot of love for the Roth era, man. Roth rules, you know. But
Yes.
I always go with, you know, anytime I'm asked this question, I always go, I got to stick to my guns. I'm Van Hagar.
I hear you, man. I'm with you. But much love for everything that David Lee and those guys put together in that period. Love that era too. But Hagar, the Red Rocker.
Hagar.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
All right, next one. Albums. Screaming for Vengeance versus Defenders of the Faith.
Oh, man.
Right?
This is like, okay, I'm gonna call it a straight up tie.
Oh shit.
Let's
Okay.
just
All
call
right.
it
All right.
even. Both of those albums mean so much, and they're both on two different planes. It's like, you know, they're equal. You know, it's just they're, you can listen to one and right back to and listen to the other, and it's just like, all right, I'm good. They're both. I'll call it a draw for those two, man. Great
All
album.
right. I got you, man. Hell yeah. From top
I
to
love
bottom, man.
Priest.
Those are fucking bangers. Okay. How about these two singers? Bruce Dickinson versus Rob Halford.
All right. This is going to be I don't want to say an easy one, but I've always picked Judas Priest over Iron Maiden. So I will go with Rob Halford all day long, man. And then nothing against Maiden. I have a lot of love for Maiden, but I'm a metal dude. And honestly, Priest has always had that metal stand-up edge. They represent metal through and through. And I have to go with that, man. I love Priest, man. And but like I said, Iron Maiden, you know, the kings of the triplet. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you know, they have metal anthems that will last the stand the test of time. So you know, they rule too. But I just always got to go with the metal, and I'm gonna go with Judas Priest.
Priest it is. Hell yeah. Okay, how about the 80s? Okay, we're in the 80s. You're building a band. You need a bass player. Who do you get? Cliff Burton or Dan Lilker?
Oh man.
Right. That you know, right there. It says 85. It's 86. Who do you get?
I'm gonna go with, you know, I have to go because he's the king, man. I gotta go with Cliff Burton. You know,
All right.
he
All right.
he did stuff that it's still tricky to this day. I'll touch on that real quick. Learning the Four Horsemen the last month or so and really nailing the Four Horsemen. I would listen to separate tracks where I just listened to bass and drums, and I wasn't listening. You know, everything else was out, and I was listening to the bass guitar, and I'm like, man, this dude's walking all over that bass guitar. And then when I got to California and I ran into Michael Spencer, I told him, I was like, man, I'm looking forward to playing the Four Horsemen. I said that particular song, Cliff is just he's doing some rad stuff, man. And he was always pushing and walking the bass, you know. So if I could jam with an 80s bass player, man, Cliff all day long, man, he'd bring a lot to the table.
Fuck yes, absolutely. Great choice. Hell yeah. All right. I just love me some Dan Lilker too. I like that hardcore fucking edge. You know, that Stormtroopers of Death right there. That's an immortal album too. All right. Okay, two more right here. Last one.
Real quick. I just got to see Dan with Anthrax about a month ago. I got to see them twice at two separate festivals, and the first time I remember just moving from area to area, and it was a long walk, and I remember stopping in the middle of this really long walk and looking afar and seeing Anthrax up on stage, and finally getting to see Lilker with Anthrax for the first time in my life at that moment was a really big deal because they were playing all the old school jams, and I stood there for a few minutes and was like, all right, I'm gonna take this moment in, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, and I'm gonna watch Anthrax, even though I was just in a weird place. I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna watch Anthrax. I can see them from right here, and it was great. And then a week went by, and we were all side stage watching Mr. Bungle, and Dan Lilker was hanging out with like Max. We were all like in this one area, and it was just really cool to stand there and to see Dan and Max kind of just like, you know, catching up like old friends, you know, and these two are absolute metal legends, you know, and I'm just standing there kind of just, you know, taking the vibe in, watching these guys jam, you know, talking to Dan a little bit, saying hello, but really letting him, him and Max do their thing. But to me, it's a really big deal just to be there and watch these guys just talk. Like it's just really cool, man. And Dan rules, good dude, always been down to earth, big weed head, man. He's still playing metal and bringing the grind. So that rules.
Hell yeah. I'm proud to say that I got to hang with Dan on their bus, chilling like a villain when they came to Corpus on the Handle with Care tour, and they had Mordred opening up. Super cool guy. He was coming through Dan Looker's coming by. I said, "Hey Dan, you want to hang?" He goes, "Yeah, dude." Boom. It was on, man. We chilled for a couple hours back there. Super cool people, man. Hell yeah.
That rules. He's super cool. Laid back.
Yes, very laid back. Okay, how about Chuck Billy versus Steve Zetro Sosa?
Ay, ay, ay. Dude, both of these guys rule. I have so much love for both of these guys, man. Oh
shit.
I mean, okay.
Someone's got to sing for your band. Who's it going to be back then? Wow.
Man, I don't want to say either one because I have some these. Okay, I'm going to have to probably go with, just because he has the lows, and that's going to be Chuck Billy. He just got those sick lows, and he just has that. He has those sick mids,
Yes.
But man, Zetro, in the last few years, me and him just become real close friends, and I have a lot of love for Zetro because every time we run into each other, it's just always fun. It's just always I like to be around him. His talks. He likes to talk about cartoons. He likes to talk about food, and he's just always a good, positive guy. He likes, he's a great dude. So, and he has the sickest vocals, thrash all the way, So it's a close one there, man. But if I had to choose, I guess I'd go with Chuck, man, because he just has that power of that low. And if I'm playing a thrash, that I'm gonna have to have that right there.
Fuck yes, I got it. That's badass. Hell yes. Oh shit.
These are good questions.
When it comes to Zetro's got his own podcast too. So I like to listen to all the metalheads doing their podcast, dude. Josta. There's so many great ones. Doc Coyle. Of course, Rob Flynn's got a great podcast too. But Zetro, on his podcast, I learned that he sings for an AC/DC tribute band in his hometown. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to do the same fucking thing. So I started AC/DC tribute. We're called Mighty Unclean. And man, it's super cool. But the Brian Johnson is such a fucking bitch. I'm good at the Bon Scott, but the Brian, man, the notes he's able to do in that range and in his style are fucking hard. But I'm getting there.
Dude, I bet it's so much fun, man.
Yeah.
I had no idea Zetro sang for an AC/DC cover band until last weekend, actually, when I was out in the Bay Area. They were talking about, the tribute bands, and they were talking about Zetro and how he sings for AC/DC. And I believe they only do deep cuts from Bon Scott. They don't do any Brian Johnson era. It's just Bon Scott era, and he does what he wants to do. If the fans don't know it, he loves what he loves, and he goes and plays. And also Will Carroll from Death Angel, he plays drums for the AC/DC cover band that Zetro does. So they rule, and it's super cool that they have their other bands also, man.
Yeah. Okay, last one. I'm gonna let you go. 280 guitar player. I know you're all day CC DeVille all day, so I'm gonna leave him out of it. But these guys are in the close, or at least within a handful of the great 80s guitar players. Warren DeMartini versus George Lynch. Who do you want as your side guy?
Ooh.
As your other guitar player, George or Warren?
They're both two great players.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with George Lynch. And the reason why. Okay, and this is just my 2 cents. I could be wrong. But okay, Martini, more precision, more on the dot. Great player.
Yeah.
Finesse. you know. But Lynch, more from the heart, more of just that soul. He just brought a whole different style of guitar playing to the table. You know, it wasn't as precise, and it was, even if it was just a little off, that's what it was. And it was just
Yeah.
that magic that was brought to the table. So man, I want to go with Lynch because he just had that little something, you know, in his playing, and he still does, you know. And I'll go with him. Although, like I said, Martini's excellent player, but Lynch for the question.
Hell yeah, Lynch it is. Mike, thank you so much. I love doing this rundown because you guys, you know these artists and you love them as much as I do. So you haven't. I love to put you in those situations where you're like, God, why do you do this to me? You know, like that Chuck and Steve. You know what I mean?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
dude. Thanks for
that
having
was
so much fun with me on the show, dude. You're always, such a pleasure to follow on the road. I love how you always putting your travels on social media. You know, me and so many other people are inspired by what you do. Us here in Texas love our fellow Texanites going out there and conquering the world. And very few have been able to hit the ground and cover the territory that you have already. And so me, I know I speak for all of my friends here in Corpus and all around Texas, man. You keep kicking ass around the world, spreading that Texas love, doing it the only way you can do it, DeLeon, man. We're so proud of you, and we're gonna be backing you up all the way, man. 1,000%. I can't wait to see you in September, and I can't wait to see some footage of you tearing it up in Europe. It's with Soulfly, and maybe a little live footage of the 3 guitar players at the Flesh Hoarder rehearsal. You never know, right? Surprise us with some love, all right?
Yes. I wanna close it out just by saying thank you so much, Tony, for having me again, man. You know, anytime you need me here and anytime you want to talk anything, I'm always here, man. And to everybody that tuned in and watched, and everybody that had questions, muchos love always. And
Yeah.
to all my brethren in the great state of Texas, I tell everybody, man, anytime I'm out there, man, it's the great state right on my back. We're all there together, man, and it's
Yeah.
always gonna be like that, and it's always like that. I like to represent, man, as much as I can, and just spread the love, man. As like as much as I can. But thank you guys, and hopefully we'll talk again soon, and we'll see you guys, man.
Absolutely, Mike. You guys make sure you're keeping up new Soulfly with Mike writing the material for it, coming out hopefully sooner than later. And look out for some new Flesh Hoarder music, maybe hidden before the year's end. There's a lot going on. But if Mike's coming to your town with either Flesh Hoarder, Soulfly, or whether it's Waltz In Violence next year somewhere in California or in Texas, don't you dare fucking miss it. Go up and say hi to Mike. He's there.
Yes.
You're gonna catch him in the crowd at the merch booth, maybe at the bar. You're so approachable, man. You got it, brother. Hell yeah.
Smoke it down.
You know it,
Yes.
bro. Hell yeah. So for the Tony Gomez family, we love you, brother. Keep on going, and we'll hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you guys so much, man. Much love right back at you. We'll do it again.
Much love. Take care, brother.
Cheers, brother.
Good night.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.